In this bulletin, Parliament passes law against COVID-19 breaches. 28 new cases, 16 from Navy cluster. And COVID-positive frontliners not part of health response. And Robinaka, Fiji. People who continue to flout certain advisories and are not adhering to the COVID-19 measures will now be issued on-the-spot fines. The Public Health Amendment Bill 2021 was passed in Parliament last night after a short debate. Offences covered under the amendment include failure to wear proper face masks and not presenting the Care Fiji mobile application on entering business premises. It also includes the failure to comply with curfew, physical distancing requirements and capacity restrictions for gatherings, events, public service vehicles and businesses. Attorney General Ayaz Sayed Qayyum says the amendments also act as a deterrent, dissuading people from breaching the COVID-19 restrictions.
At the moment the law is, if I'm not wearing a mask and they see me not wearing a mask, they'll arrest me or they'll take me to the cell and lock me up. The difference now would be, once we have this penalty, they see you not wearing a mask, they'll write the infringement notice, they'll give it to you, and you need to go and pay the fine. That's how the system is going to work. The reason why we're doing all of this, Mr. Speaker, sir, is because we need to inculcate a behavior, a pattern of behavior. We need to ensure compliance. We need to ensure that there's deterrence without actually causing or affecting the efficiency and the productivity.
This amendment that's been brought in terms of ensuring that we can be able to provide fines as a deterrent is one of the most important as we seek to stop the transmission of the virus and bring this country to the COVID containment measures.
The Ministry of Health has recorded 28 new cases of COVID-19 as of 6 p.m. yesterday. 23 of the new cases are linked to the existing clusters. 2 cases are from the Nawaka cluster, 1 from CWM Hospital, and 4 from the Fire Care cluster. There are 16 cases from the Navy cluster. Permanent Secretary Dr. James Fong says 3 are close contacts of a case under investigation from Daumbati announced on Wednesday. 1 is under investigation with unknown links to other cases at this stage, and 1 case from Navosai Nerere was tested after presenting to Walelebu Health Center with symptoms. Investigation is ongoing into any links between this case and other cases. The frontliners who have tested positive for COVID-19 to date are not part of the Frontline Public Health Response Team. This has been clarified by Dr. James Fong, who says medical and military personnel who have tested positive for the virus are not doing surveillance and containment in the communities. Dr. Fong says they rigorously screen and test the frontline personnel for their safety and the public safety. This is because they come into contact with persons who have been exposed to the virus. He stresses this ensures the risk to the public from contact with the contact tracing and containment teams is eliminated. Dr. Fong says they expect all frontline teams to carefully observe established COVID-safe protocol. He highlights COVID-safe behavior needs to be maintained by all sections of the community, but especially those in the front line. Minister for Economy Ayaz Sayed Qayyum has hit out an opposition member of parliament, Mithieli Mbulanouda, for spreading misinformation about the COVID-19 vaccine. Sayed Qayyum has criticized the opposition MP who claimed that people should move towards a natural treatment as other ways to fight the virus. The minister adds the COVID-19 vaccine is critical in overcoming the current challenges posed by the second wave of the pandemic. Mbulanouda claimed that COVID-19 can be cured by drinking hot water and herbs.
We need the whole of Fiji to go into more natural, preventative ways of avoiding this kind of sickness. We're going to herbs, somebody already mentioned yesterday. We're going to hot water, going to drink steam and all that. We need to have 1 week or 2 weeks of that. You can kill all that COVID-19 here.
Vaccine was seen as the panacea to these issues, to these problems. Honorable leader of Sodelpa has said, go and get vaccinated. But his very member sitting 1 row behind him is today saying, don't get the vaccine. He said before, don't get the vaccine, drink hot water or herbal medicine, saying that we have brought about the COVID-19 to Fiji. That doesn't inspire confidence.
Looking at the number of cases of COVID-19 in the country, agile decision-making is vital for the health ministry. Minister Dr. Ifremi Wanganambete says though the cases in terms of the numbers may be big, it is within the cluster. Dr. Wanganambete says looking at the pattern associated with the cases indicates that there are more locally transmitted cases rather than community transmission. He adds cases coming from within the clusters and Fiji not getting many new community cases demonstrated that the programs in place are working.
That is more important to us than having more cases widespread being picked up from the community. So as you can see, there are some families, for example, somebody has a primary contact that becomes positive. He has a family of about 7 members, and ultimately all those 7 become positive.
The Minister for Local Government has reiterated health and safety is paramount in towns and cities during this COVID-19 period. Minister Premila Kumar says few protocols are in place in public places, including municipal markets. The minister says safety strategies have been set up to support the Ministry of Health to contain COVID-19. The minister also says some council workers are assisting the Health Ministry with contact tracing, among others.
Solid waste collection, grass cutting, drain cleaning, processing of building and rezoning applications, and other essential services continue with minimal disruption during this difficult time.
Fijians are reminded to be mindful of the situation that we are in and adhere to all the health restrictions that are currently in place. This as the Fiji Police Force is making arrests for curfew and health restriction breaches daily. Acting Commissioner of Police says while the containment borders have been merged, Fijians need to understand unnecessary movement is still prohibited. Rosette Tunrabu says 57 newly badged officers have been posted to the Western Division as operations progresses in Nandi and Lautoka.
I'm just pleading to the members of the community. It does not mean that it's open up for us to freely move. If they can have that in their mind and then be aware that we still have community transmission virus going on, and I hope that we together can assist the Ministry of Health in these regards.
The government has funded $161 million through the Fiji National Provident Fund to assist those affected by the pandemic. Economy Minister Ayaz Sayed Qayyum says a lot of people receiving funds from FNPF are actually being assisted by government as they do not have any more funds in their general account. The minister was responding to opposition MP Andeli Tianguini Marabi on government's plans to assist affected families who are ineligible for social welfare payments or FNPF assistance.
Of course, we have the food rations that were given to those people who were in the strict 24-hour curfew for about 4 days in the Suba area. And then, of course, we had the $90, where 118,000 households were assisted. About $10.6 million have been disbursed through that.
Parliament has passed the Investment Bill 2020, and this replaces the Foreign Investment Act of 1999. Economy Minister Ayaz Sayed Qayyum says the bill will create an attractive investment climate, increase foreign and domestic investments, generate employment and promote growth for the benefit of every Fijian.
Widespread consultation, of course, Mr. Speaker, was held. Clause 1 of the bill provides for the short time of commencement. If passed by Parliament, the new legislation will come into force on a date or dates to be appointed by the Minister by notice in the Gazette. Clause 2 of the bill provides for the definitions of the terms used throughout the Act.
Up ahead, Fiji Sevens begin countdown for Olympics. And athletics pathway still clear. Stay with us. Welcome back. The countdown to the Olympic Games has now started for the Fiji Sevens side. Oceania Rugby has confirmed that both the Fiji Sevens and Fijiana will feature in the newly developed Pacific All Sports Oceania Sevens in Australia in 2 weeks. Aquila Dharma reports.
Both national sides will leave for Australia today to feature at the Oceania Sevens in Townsville, Queensland.
Normal times call for sacrifices. We are just thankful for the Ministry of Health in giving us the approval so that we can do some training in bubbles. And that's the best we can do. We're not in control of the situation.
This trip will be quite challenging because of the new normal.
At the moment, we know Olympics is crucial, but the life and safety of our players is most paramount. And that's what is the priority at the moment.
Both teams will officially announce their 13 players for the Olympics from Australia, because from there they'll travel to Japan.
No other choice we have, but our only outings coming up is the Oceania, and it is what it is. We have to be responsible to what's the situation, and go out there and compete.
The Oceania Sevens will be held on the 25th to the 27th of this month. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Association of Sports and National Olympic Committee has highlighted the importance of athlete monitoring during athletics competitions like the Coca-Cola Games. Through the years, the prominent athletes like Cecilia Seabula, Eunice Mbese and Fane Sauvagadolo have been through the system to secure themselves a scholarship in the States through the Oceania Australia Foundation. FESANOC Chief Executive Lorraine Ma believes young Fijians athletes have the ability to also follow through the system to secure scholarships.
Athletics, as you know, is a multi-medal sport at Pacific Games. It's important that athletics monitor, identify their talent, and then provide this kind of opportunity.
The Oceania Squash tournament that was scheduled to be hosted in Nadi is in doubt. The tournament was planned to be held last year but did not go through due to the first wave of the pandemic. It was rescheduled to November this year, but interim president Michael Rava says with the current situation, the tournament is likely to fall through again.
We'll give it till maybe end of this month and then make a call to see whether it would be worthwhile to go ahead with Oceania, or we'll just we will just probably go back to Oceania Squash and inform them that the event unfortunately can't go ahead because of COVID.
Cloudy periods with few showers are expected over most parts of the country today. The conditions will remain cool. That's FBC Morning News. Join us at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. For news you can trust, get the facts from FBC's TV, radio and digital news at fbcnews.com.fj. Take care and good morning.